In the cold but biologically rich waters of Alaska, salmon fishing plays a vital role in the economic, cultural, and traditional life of the local communities, especially among indigenous fishing communities and families who have lived here for generations. Among the various fishing methods used, purse seining stands out as one of the most effective and widely practiced techniques for American fishermen to harvest large quantities of salmon from coastal waters and major river mouths. These waters are key migration routes where salmon return to spawn. Purse seining began to develop significantly in the early 20th century and has since become an indispensable part of Alaska's commercial fishing industry, maintaining its crucial role to this day. Each year, thousands of small and medium-sized fishing vessels gather along coastal areas such as Prince William Sound, Kodiak Island, Sitka, and southeast Alaska to prepare for the salmon fishing season, which runs from June through September. The primary salmon species caught include sockeye, pink, coho, chum, and king salmon, with pink and sockeye salmon making up the majority of the purse seine harvest. A typical purse seine fishing trip usually starts early in the morning, when the tide and morning light create ideal conditions for spotting schools of fish. Each purse seine vessel is typically 30 to 65 feet long and operated by a crew of 4 to 6 members, including the captain, engineer, and deckhands responsible for deploying, retrieving, and sorting the nets. The boats navigate along river mouths or strong current zones where salmon tend to gather densely. Fishermen use electronic equipment such as sonar fish finders and marine radar to locate and estimate the density of salmon schools beneath the surface. Upon spotting a school of salmon, the captain signals to deploy the net. The purse seine net usually ranges from 650 to 1,300 feet in length and 65 to 165 feet in depth, designed in a U-shape or circular formation to fully encircle the fish. Deploying the net requires seamless coordination between the crew and a skiff, a small motorized boat towed behind the main vessel, which pulls the other end of the net to close the circle. Once the net forms a closed loop, the bottom is drawn tight using a drawstring called the purse line, creating a large purse that traps the fish inside. This entire operation happens quickly, often within 15 to 30 minutes. To prevent fish from escaping, the crew gradually hauls the net on board using a hydraulic winch system. When the net containing the fish is brought alongside the boat, fishermen use large dip nets or specialized fish pumps to bring the salmon onto the deck. As soon as the fish are on board, the crew quickly performs a preliminary sort, removing damaged fish, undersized ones, or unwanted species, while placing high-quality salmon into ice-filled containers. On modern fishing vessels, salmon are processed immediately after being hauled on board. First, the fish are stunned with ice water, then gutted, cleaned, and stored in ice bins to preserve maximum freshness. Some larger purse seine vessels are also equipped with seawater chilling systems or blast freezers to keep the fish fresh for several days at sea. Salmon fishermen using purse seines in Alaska must strictly comply with regulations set by the Alaska Department of Fish and Game, ADF&G, including catch quotas, minimum fish sizes, and designated fishing areas. Each season, ADF&G announces specific fishing periods for different zones. For example, allowing net deployment for only 12 hours per day, or limiting fishing activity from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Fishing vessels must be properly registered, carry valid identification numbers, and report their catch volumes upon returning to port. ADF&G enforcement teams and the U.S. Coast Guard regularly patrol the waters by helicopter, high-speed boats, and offshore stations to ensure fishermen adhere to regulations, avoid exceeding quotas, respect restricted zones, and protect the ecosystem. Salmon is a highly valuable resource that plays a crucial role in the ecosystem and food chain. Therefore, all fishing activities must ensure long-term sustainability. The effectiveness and prominence of Alaska's purse seine salmon fishery stem from the combination of traditional knowledge and modern technology. Local fishermen rely not only on age-old wisdom, such as observing water color, wind direction, and seabird behavior, but also on GPS navigation, sonar fish finders, underwater cameras, and net management software. Before each fishing season, fishermen participate in community meetings organized by ADF&G to receive updates on salmon stocks, environmental protection measures, sustainable fishing techniques, and the latest forecasts. Information sharing among fishermen is also a vital part of Alaska's Seine fishery ecosystem, where cooperation, knowledge exchange, and respect for nature are highly valued. A typical fishing trip usually lasts from several days up to a week. After completing the catch, the fishing vessel returns to the nearest ports such as Cordova, Valdez, Kodiak, or Juneau to unload the fish. At the port, the salmon are transported to seafood processing plants for final sorting and entry into production lines. Depending on the species and quality, the salmon may be processed into frozen fillets, canned products, smoked salmon, or roe. Salmon caught by Seine nets in Alaska are known for their high quality due to careful handling and preservation, as well as selective fishing methods that minimize environmental impact and avoid harming non-target species. This is why Alaska salmon holds certifications from international organizations like the Marine Stewardship Council, MSC, and is widely consumed in the US, Japan, Europe, and many other countries. Beyond the economic benefits, Seine salmon fishing is also an important part of Alaska's cultural heritage. Traditional fishing families often have multiple generations involved in the trade, passing down knowledge and skills from season to season. In many coastal communities, salmon season is not only a time for harvest, but also an occasion for traditional festivals, where locals celebrate the return of the salmon and express gratitude to nature. However, salmon fishing faces numerous challenges. Climate change, rising sea temperatures, shifting ocean currents, and invasive species, such as farmed salmon from Canada or disease outbreaks, are impacting wild salmon populations. Wildfires, urban development, and mining activities also affect the natural habitats of salmon in the rivers and streams where they spawn. To sustain this vital resource, Alaska has implemented various ecological monitoring, management, and restoration programs. Research stations have been established along major rivers such as the Copper River, Yukon River, and Bristol Bay. Utilizing camera monitoring systems and electronic tagging of salmon to track migration routes and monitor spawning returns. In the future, Seine fishermen in Alaska will continue to play a vital role in protecting, responsibly harvesting, and developing a sustainable fishing industry. By combining traditional knowledge, modern technology, and a strong sense of environmental responsibility, Seine salmon fishing will be maintained over the long term, making a significant contribution to the national economy and food security. For Alaska's fishermen, each fishing season is not just a job, but a race against time, weather, and nature. Long days spent at sea, from dawn until dusk, demand endurance, discipline, and close coordination among crew members. As the fishing vessel quietly leaves the port, navigating narrow bays and crossing icy currents to reach the salmon gathering areas, everyone on board prepares mentally for a hard day's work, full of hope for a productive harvest. The image of salmon leaping out of the water as the net closes around them is one of the most striking moments in the fishing process. These strong, shimmering silver fish struggle to escape the tightening net, displaying a fierce survival instinct. To the fishermen, the salmon are not only a commodity to sell, but also part of a natural cycle that they and their ancestors have been involved in for generations. Once the fish are brought on board, processing begins immediately. Skilled workers quickly gut the fish, remove the internal organs, and place the salmon into ice-filled containers. Every step is carried out swiftly and precisely to ensure the quality of the fish meat is preserved. The ice temperature is strictly controlled between 0 and 2 degrees Celsius to keep the fish as fresh as possible. Onboard preservation is a critical factor that determines the market price of the salmon when it reaches the port. Many fishing vessels invest in seawater refrigeration systems that pump chilled seawater into storage tanks to maintain optimal freshness throughout storage. Some more modern vessels are even equipped with quick freezing facilities, capable of freezing the fish within hours of the catch. This freezing process helps preserve the cell structure, color, flavor, and nutritional value of the fish meat, meeting the stringent requirements of markets in Japan and Europe. After fishing, the salmon are transported to processing plants as quickly as possible to ensure freshness. Transportation uses refrigerated trucks or large ice containers, with temperature strictly monitored. Upon arrival at the plant, the salmon enter the receiving area for preliminary inspection of size, weight, freshness, and any abnormalities. Fish meeting the standards are sent to the primary processing area, while those that do not qualify are either discarded or sent to lower-grade processing lines. In the primary processing area, workers use specialized knives to gut the fish, remove internal organs, and clean them with high-pressure water jets. The internal organs are sorted, with some being used for animal feed production or fish oil. After the preliminary processing step, the cleaned salmon are sent through a weight sorting machine. Fish of uniform size are transferred to an automated filleting line, while smaller or oversized fish are handled separately. The filleting machine uses sharp blades to remove the backbone and cut 2 fillets from the fish's body. After filleting, the fillets undergo manual inspection to remove any remaining small bones. In many modern plants, bone detection and removal are performed using X-ray machines to ensure absolute safety for consumers. Once deboned, the fillets are trimmed and shaped according to the customer's packaging specifications. Depending on market demand, fillets can be left whole, cut into smaller portions, or sliced thinly for sashimi. An essential stage in salmon processing is chilling and freezing. After filleting, the fish are placed into cold storage or chilled seawater tanks at temperatures between 0 and 4 degrees for rapid cooling, which helps preserve color and freshness. They are then transferred to blast freezers at 35 degrees or lower to maintain quality and meat texture. Common freezing methods include contact freezing, forced air freezing, and liquid nitrogen freezing. Once frozen, the products are vacuum sealed or packed in plastic containers, then placed into cartons for storage and transport. During packaging, the products are labeled with full traceability information, including production date, expiration date, manufacturer details, and quality standards. Modern salmon processing plants place great emphasis on hygiene and food safety. The entire production area is designed as a closed system, equipped with temperature and humidity control, and separate processing lines for raw materials and finished products. Workers must adhere to strict hygiene protocols, including wearing protective clothing, gloves, masks, and safety shoes, and receive training on contamination risks. Equipment, knives, and production surfaces are regularly sanitized using specialized solutions or steam. Additionally, plants routinely conduct microbiological testing on products, wash water, and equipment surfaces to ensure all goods meet export or domestic consumption standards. Besides frozen fillet production lines, many plants also process value-added salmon products such as smoked salmon, salted salmon, canned salmon, and tray-packed sashimi. For smoked salmon, after filleting and deboning, the fish are either dry-cured or soaked in brine for several hours to impart a mild saltiness and extend shelf life. After curing, the fish is rinsed, surface-dried, and placed in a smoking chamber. The smoking process may involve hot smoking at 65 to 85 grader or cold smoking below 30 degrees, depending on the product requirements. Oak or ash wood is typically used for smoking due to the distinctive aroma they produce. The smoked salmon is then thinly sliced, vacuum-packed, and stored under refrigeration. Additionally, salmon is also processed into ready-to-eat sashimi. Salmon intended for sashimi must meet strict hygiene and freshness standards. After harvesting, the fish are rapidly chilled and transported to the processing facility within a short time frame. Following filleting, the salmon is thinly sliced using Japanese techniques, packaged in plastic trays, and stored at temperatures between 0 and 2 degrees. These products are typically distributed to supermarkets or high-end restaurants, requiring strict handling and storage conditions to maintain quality. Another trend is canned salmon production. The salmon is steamed, skinned, deboned, and packed in cans with brine, vegetable oil, or tomato sauce. The cans are vacuum sealed and sterilized in a high-pressure autoclave to ensure complete sterilization. This product can be stored at room temperature with a shelf life of up to 2 years, making it very popular in markets such as the US, Canada, and Europe due to its convenience, nutritional value, and ease of use. To ensure product quality, processing plants implement traceability systems that record information from fish breed, catch area, harvest date, processing batch code, to shipment date. These systems use barcodes or QR codes to allow partners or consumers to easily track the product's history. Some large plants even integrate blockchain technology into the supply chain to guarantee full transparency. In addition to product quality, salmon processing plants also focus on waste management during production. Fish heads, bones, skin, and internal organs are not discarded, but sent to byproduct processing areas to produce fish meal, fish oil, animal feed, or organic fertilizer. Notably, salmon oil is highly valuable due to its high content of omega-3, DHA, and EPA. It is extracted by cold pressing or solvent methods, then refined for use in pharmaceuticals and dietary supplements. These byproduct lines not only optimize raw material use, but also increase revenue and reduce environmental pollution. Alongside processing operations, plants apply quality management systems according to international standards such as HACCP, ISO 22000, BRC, or ASC to ensure product safety for consumers and compliance for export to demanding markets. Food safety experts regularly inspect and monitor processes, analyze samples, and maintain detailed production logs for traceability. Some plants also operate their own microbiology labs to quickly test for indicators such as E. coli, Salmonella, Listeria, or total aerobic bacteria. Additionally, sensory tests on color, elasticity, flavor, and texture of the fish meat are conducted to ensure consistent quality. Processing technology is continuously improved to increase efficiency, reduce labor, and enhance product value. Advanced equipment such as automated 3D filleting machines, X-ray bone detection systems, packaging robots, smart conveyor belts, and real-time temperature and humidity monitoring systems are integrated into modern production lines. As a result, processing times are shortened, raw material losses are minimized, and product consistency is improved. Large factories also apply artificial intelligence to analyze fish body shapes and optimize filleting methods to maximize meat yield. The workforce at processing plants also plays a crucial role. Workers operate in shifts lasting 8 to 12 hours, depending on order volume. All employees receive comprehensive training on production procedures, workplace safety, and personal hygiene in cold, humid, and noisy environments. They must wear full protective gear, including insulated clothing, hair nets, masks, gloves, and slip-resistant shoes. Skilled workers are often assigned to manual filleting or quality inspection tasks, as these steps require meticulous attention and years of experience. Factories also provide dedicated rest and dining areas for each shift to ensure workers' health, especially during peak export seasons at year-end. Some plants operate around the clock to meet delivery schedules. Depending on size, a medium-scale factory can process anywhere from several dozen to several hundred tons of salmon daily. After packaging, products are stored in cold storage at temperatures ranging from 18 degrees to 40 degrees before shipment. Modern cold storage facilities can hold thousands of pallets and are managed by specialized software to ensure products follow a first-in, first-out rotation system. Transporting salmon products from the factory to consumer markets is a vital part of the value chain. Depending on distance and delivery time requirements, products are shipped via refrigerated containers, reefer ships, or even air freight. For export orders of sashimi or fresh fillets, Products must reach consumers within 48 to 72 hours after processing.